Rome 33 AD. Wealthy elites are scrambling, lenders are shutting their doors, and land prices are falling faster than a dropped amphora. The empire's financial system just slammed into a wall, and it triggered the first major economic crash in recorded history. Hey, this is Coinrad, and today we're talking about the first big financial meltdown in history. So, picture Rome 33 AD. Emperor Tiberius is on the throne. The empire is huge, the trade is buzzing, and wealthy elites are investing left and right. But here's the catch. A lot of it was built on credit. You see, back then, there were no official banks like we know today. Instead, rich private lenders gave out loans to landowners, businesses, and sometimes even senators. Loans were a part of the empire's bloodstream. And just like in modern times, when too many people borrow money, things can get shaky fast. Okay, before we jump in, a quick disclaimer. The world didn't suddenly invent recessions in 33 AD. Earlier civilizations like the Babylonians or the Greeks likely had smaller economic hiccups. But this one? It's the first crash we've got real records for. And it was a doozy. Here's where the story really kicks in. There was a Roman law that said all lenders had to hold a certain amount of their wealth in land inside Italy. The idea was to prevent capital from flowing out of the country. But for years, nobody really enforced it. Then suddenly, in 33 AD, the law got dusted off and enforced hard. Judges started cracking down and lenders panicked. They rushed to sell off their assets, especially land, to meet the legal requirements. Now imagine, everyone trying to sell land at the same time and nobody's buying. Sound familiar? Prices tanked, credit froze, and just like that, Rome had its first liquidity crisis. Lenders stopped lending. Borrowers couldn't pay. And the real estate market? Flatlined harder than a gladiator in the Colosseum. By now, the panic was spreading. Even the senatorial class, Rome's elite, were getting crushed under debt. Some historians even suggest that members of the ruling class were forced to sell off their statues and slaves just to stay afloat. The city was buzzing with rumors, bankruptcies, and financial chaos. So what did Emperor Tiberius do? Well, at first, nothing. Seriously, Tiberius was chilling in Capri, probably thinking this whole thing would sort itself out. Spoiler, it didn't. Eventually, even he realized the empire couldn't just vibe its way out of a full-on credit collapse. So, like a Roman version of the Federal Reserve, he stepped in. Tiberius created a government-backed loan program, and here's the kicker. It was interest-free. He handed out 100 million sesterces, that's a lot of coin, to landowners, with 3-year terms and zero interest as long as they pledged property as collateral. Basically, it was an ancient bailout, a money-printing moment without the printers. And you know what? It worked. Slowly, confidence returned, loans restarted, and the economy began to recover. Rome didn't fall, not yet anyway. Now let's fast forward nearly 2,000 years, to 2008. If the panic of 33 AD was Rome's financial heart attack, 2008 was the modern world's stroke. Different setting, same symptoms. Too much credit, complex debt, crashing real estate prices, and suddenly, banks holding a whole lot of nothing. In 2008, we had the US housing bubble pop. In 33 AD, it was Roman land speculation and over-leveraged lending. Both times, the government had to step in with emergency cash to stop the bleeding. Tiberius pulled a 2008-style bailout almost 2 millennia early. Makes you wonder, are financial crises just part of the human condition? Like bad fashion and awkward dinner parties? So what can we learn from the panic of 33 AD? 1. Don't ignore outdated laws. They might come back to bite you. 2. Economic panic is nothing new. Humans have always found creative ways to borrow too much and crash the system. And 3. Sometimes even an emperor on vacation has to roll up his sleeves and throw some coins at the problem. Because when markets freeze, whether it's Wall Street or the Roman Forum, someone's got to play lender of last resort. And that, my friends, is how Rome discovered that wealth can vanish a lot faster than it's earned. This is Coinrad, digging up old coins and older mistakes. Like, subscribe, and join me next time.